do not necessarily reflect the views of Two Cops, One Donut, its host, or affiliates. The podcast is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. We do not endorse any guests' opinions or actions discussed during the show. Any content provided by guests is of their own volition, and listeners are encouraged to form their own opinions. Furthermore, some content is graphic and has harsh language. Viewer discretion advised and is intended for mature audiences. Two Cops, One Donut and its host do not accept any liability for statements or actions taken by guests. Thank you for listening. Welcome back to Cops, One Donut. I am officially working nights, so I had some time before I'm supposed to go to work. I have taser training tomorrow morning, so I didn't want to pull a night shift into a morning shift. That would have been miserable. So told the wife, I was like, I'm going to go jump on a live. Just chat for an hour. See what everybody's doing. What up, Freeman? Steve Wallace in the house. Twitchy Skitch, one of my mods, is in the house. What's going on? Looking over at Instagram. There's people joining, but I never trust Instagram numbers. He says there's a ton of people joining, but there's never really a whole lot of people in the chat on Instagram. Just is what it is. Coming on to see what questions y'all may have and whatnot. Perky over on Instagram said, how is the process from military to police officer? Military to police officer. It is easier in most places. I think it's Craig Holcomb. Us normal people are at work. Yeah, I'm working nights again. Oh, I just realized that my chat thing is showing. It's showing Alan's name. We got to change that. That can't work. Alan is one of our behind the scenes guys. Makes the magic happen. Let me see if I can't change this. Give me 1 second here. I got to change my name. General audio recording profile. There we go. There we go. Sergeant Eric Levine. Host. There we go. General back there. Now it's got the appropriate name. Mama Pringle just want to thank you for your service. Well, appreciate it. It's always odd when people want to thank you for your service. For us, it's one of those things like it's fun, so I would do it regardless. But so transitioning from military or going from military to police, that was the question that was asked. Fairly easy. It's a lot simpler. You already have background checks done and stuff like that. So when you are actually going through the paperwork side, you got an advantage. When you're going through the hiring process itself, you have an advantage just because you're used to, the paramilitary style that the police are. Police are paramilitary. So that does get some people rubbed the wrong way, but it is what it is. You're a guardian, you're a warrior, you're a peacekeeper, you're a whole bunch of things into one. I don't think it's mutually exclusive. It just depends on what's happening. I'd like to say, like, when an active shooter thing's going on, you're going into warrior mode. You could call it guardian, but more than likely you're going in there to take somebody down. So you got to be able to flip back and forth. Mr. Bill folds on. He said, Eric is undercover as Alan Nelson. Yeah, I had to change that. Blue Line Transparency. What's going on? Good afternoon. Not much, brother. Just figured I'd jump on and let's bullshit, make some conversation, maybe show some videos. Give me an opportunity to get on here and see what world problems we can solve. I did see a video recently of, I don't remember the department. I got the video saved on my phone. So give me a second. Let me see if it says it in the Brooklyn Park Police Chief. Let me see if I can find that video. Got a Brooklyn Park Police Chief press conference thing that he did. There it is. Uh, let's see. Well, the thing I hate about doing this is I don't like showing. Here's a YouTube short. That may work. Okay. Let me share this screen. This was an interesting conversation topic. Yeah, let me hit play.
Now, folks, let me be clear from the start that public safety in Minneapolis.
Wait, that's not it. That ain't it. Where'd it go?
In Brooklyn Park, one particular officer that shared her story with me was stopped as she passed ICE going down the roadway. When they boxed her in, they demanded her paperwork, of which she's a U.S. citizen and clearly would not have any paperwork. When she became concerned about the rhetoric and the way she was being treated, she pulled out her phone. In an attempt to record the incident, the phone was knocked out of her hands, preventing her from recording it. The officer had their guns drawn during this interaction. And after the officer became so concerned, they were forced to identify themselves as a Brooklyn Park police officer in hopes of slowing the incident and de-escalating the incident down. The agents then immediately left after hearing this, making no other comments, no other apologies, just got in their vehicles and left. I wish I could tell you that this was an isolated incident. In fact, many of the chiefs standing behind me have similar incidents with their off-duty officers. This isn't just important because it happened to off-duty police officers, but what it did do is we know that our officers know what the Constitution is, they know what right and wrong is, and they know when people are being targeted, and that's what they were.
So, that's a very interesting point of view. And I am very curious if there's any corroborating evidence to back up the claims. I'm one of those people that it's good to discuss, but let's discuss it with a level head. Just because a cop said it happened doesn't necessarily mean it did happen. Two, I think it's kind of ironic. You know, I'm hoping officers hear that because we've heard the same stories from citizens before, and cops, you'll see cops dismiss it. I'm like, well, now here's cops giving you the same type of thing that we hear from citizens, and now all of a sudden it's a problem. So, officers, remember, people have the right to record. You've got the right to record. You don't want your rights infringed upon. So just remember that when you're dealing with the public. Now, of course, I'm not speaking to the masses of cops, but we've seen hundreds of videos out there on this very program of cops violating rights, snatching people's cell phones out of their hands, and all these different things. So, um, it's kind of a, look in the mirror, guys. Make sure we're keeping ourselves accountable too for the same type of behavior. But if this did happen, if this was a thing that did happen, now it comes down to, how does the accountability train start with that? I don't even know. I don't even know because, like I've told you guys before, federal power supersedes my state local power. So me being a city cop, I don't even. I mean, you're going to handle that issue administratively. I highly, highly doubt that's ever going to be a actual legal issue where they're trying to get the courts involved and all that. I imagine it's going to be agency to agency. You need to do something. You guys need to, and they're going to go back and forth that way. Typically, that's how that happens. Um, Sorry, I'm looking at my phone here. Thought I had a message. Don't. Um, but yeah, that's. I'm just curious what you guys think about that. I'm looking over at the comments. Blue Line Transparency said, "Would you think there's potentially a crime committed if you saw flyers distributed in public areas that have the word snitch and person's mugshot on it?" Do I think there's a crime? I don't see. I mean, as long as you're not inciting violence or being racist, I don't see how that is a crime. Uh, I don't know. I don't see that being a crime. No. Um, The Fourth Amendment violation has been going on since the beginning of time with law enforcement. I think the old age saying "back the blue until it happens to you" fits the situation. Yeah, that could fit. Just depends on who we're talking about. I don't like big veiled blanket statements though, because it's definitely not all cops. It's definitely not all citizens. Case by case basis. That's how I like to talk about things. Hey, I like that Eric spells his name the same way. Eric JT71. He said, "Yep, crying because it's now happening to them." Maybe, maybe. Don't know. Dead Legs in the house. What's up, Dead Leg? What's going on, brother? Wade said, "Do bitter." Either that's a spelling error, that's an intentional slight on me for my saying "do better." Yes, do better. Steve Wallace said, "I'm going to start wearing a kilt one week and later hosing to see if I get asked for papers." Tim, what's going on, brother? He said, "Yo, boss, how's it going?" Doing well. What if she didn't pull the cop card? That would be the question to ask. Because I think me personally, I would have seen how far they wanted to take it. I would have seen how far they would have tried to take it with me. You know, when they put the cuffs on, throw me in the back of the car, and then they grab my. Uh-oh, what was that? I lost connection for a second. Now we're back. That was weird. But I think if that was me and they did that to me, I'm not telling them. They're gonna find out the hard way. They're gonna put me in cuffs, arrest me, whatever it is that they do. And the minute they search me and check my ID, they're gonna. When you pull out my wallet, it's kind of crazy because you're gonna get a military ID, you're gonna get my police credentials, you're gonna get my state ID. You're gonna see my global entry ID. So, you do that to me, and you're gonna see a whole bunch of things that you didn't want to find out. There's a video that we showed on here before where cops pretty much profile this dude and start to put him under arrest. And when they pull out his ID, they find out he's an FBI agent. That was a pretty funny video for me to watch. Wasn't so funny for those officers. Probably not so funny for that FBI agent either, but yeah. Last King 710 said, "Love your content. Had to stop in and give respect." What's up, brother? Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. That's over on Instagram. Yeah, I just try to have honest conversation on here. I try to be, you guys know me. It's the hardest position to be in is being a fence sitter. I'm a fence sitter because I don't get down extreme sides. I judge each thing based on what we're seeing. So like on this one, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I just hope there's something that corroborates it, something that shows proof of it. If the ICE agents are wearing body cam footage, I don't know if they wear body cams. I'm not sure what the standard is with them. Last King said, "But they clearly do not have the self-control though. That cop knew Ish was going to go left and probably had to pull the cop card. It's crazy out there now." Yeah, I imagine that officer was like, "I ain't got time." Like it started going spiraling. I can't say the word. Spiraling downward. There we go. And was like, "I ain't got fucking time for this. Like, get my police ID out. Let me show you guys." Their rules for engagement seem to be different than regular law enforcement. I agree. I do think they are. I think they do have different rules of engagement for sure. Police are handcuffed all around. Police have way more rules to follow than I think anybody else. Maybe that's my bias coming out because I'm a cop, but when I look at it, I'm like, Jesus, I couldn't do any of the stuff that they're doing. A lot of the stuff that they do is just we don't have that authority. But yeah, for me, I'll play that. I'm patient. I got the time. You start messing with me, I'm gonna see how far you take it. You know, if I get pulled over, I do the same thing when I get pulled over. I'm not pulling that card, not unless I need to. Like, I got pulled over one time. My ID was in my center console, but so was my gun. And you never know what, you know, PTSD, stressed out cop you got that the last time they let somebody get in the center console, shit went crazy. So I had to tell him, like, hey, man, I'm off duty cop. My weapon is right in there with my ID. I don't want to go reaching for it. And they're like, "Oh, it's fine. You can reach." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna go for that." I'm like, "How about like I'll offer him like I'll step out. You can have your partner." He had a partner with him. I was like, "You can have your partner open that door and they can grab it." I was like, "I'm just gonna keep my hands up here." Now that's what they decided to do. They reached in, they grabbed it. Um, and legitimately had a good reason to pull me over. I didn't have my registration sticker in my window. I had got it. I just forgot to put it up there. I'd taken the old one off. I have a squirrel brain. I got distracted with something else. Somebody texted me or something, and I just never went to put the sticker back on there and forgot about it. And got pulled over for my registration not being displayed. They didn't give me a ticket or anything like that, but I wouldn't have pulled the cop card unless I had to, and I had to because I wasn't going to get that craziness going. Um, but yeah, Wade goes, "You are a fence sitter." I am. I'm self-admitted. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just it makes life tougher for me because you try to make it. You got your extremists on one side, extremists on the other side. So you're always gonna piss off one side or the other, and you got to not get defensive. I try not to get defensive about it. It's just trying to explain your position, and the more you explain, the worse it gets. So, it is what it is. Mr. Billfold said the Supreme Court once again just sided with cops killing a man in his own home on a welfare check. Things are not getting better. I don't know the circumstances behind it. So, just because they justified it doesn't mean it wasn't justified. I don't know. I don't know the circumstances behind it. That's the system we have. Sometimes I've seen decisions I don't agree with, but what can you do? That's the system. They're not when it's based on humans, it's never going to be perfect. Kingslayer said ICE doesn't have body cams, and if ICE knocked the phone out of her hand, there won't be evidence. If the cop's word versus citizen's word, cop wins. What happens when it's an LEO versus LEO when it refers to IA? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Because cops have lied to their own. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like, there was an incident where a cop shot himself and then claimed somebody shot at him. And he was like a hero for like a couple months. And then the investigation led to realizing he was full of shit. So these are instances. I'm not, again, it's not to downplay everybody. It's just if there's one instance of something being bad and not working, or you find out as to be a bad narrative, like it's going to put doubt in your mind. It can put doubt in your mind. So Wade said, "I am also a fence sitter." Nice. It's bullshit. ICE ignores the Constitution, and even more puzzling how so-called conservatives are cheering it on. I guess it just like I said, I haven't witnessed them violating the Constitution in let me take that back. I don't know enough about the investigations that they're doing. I think that is part of the problem. We don't know what investigations they're doing, and they're not telling us anything. So, without the information behind it, that makes it harder, for sure. It makes it harder. And one, it makes it hard to take the side because I want to know. Well, like, do you have a warrant? Is there something that led you to this point? Or you guessing? Are you going off a hunch? Like, we need to know this type of information to have more of a well-rounded opinion, so to speak. What do we got here? Mr. Billfold said, A man's ex-girlfriend called the cops and said that he was going to harm himself. Oh, I know the story. That was the one in Montana. We were just talking about it. The guy never opened the door. Cops and SWAT went in and shot him in the closet, no gun in his hand. So we actually just debated this case law yesterday. They went in based on the care doctrine or something like that. I can't remember what it was. What they actually had was they had an exigent circumstance to render aid. So the backstory, from what I understand, what Mr. Billfold said, he's right. Ex-girlfriend called the cops, said that he had harmed himself. When we read the case, from what I read, she heard him cock the weapon, and then she also heard a gunshot go off, and she either ran out, or I don't know if it was on the phone she heard it. I don't know if she was in the building and she heard it. Whatever it was, she ran out, and he had been talking about harming himself. So based on that information, you actually have an exigent circumstance to go render aid. So they go in, they clear the house, and when they get to the closet, he had something in his hand, and it wasn't a gun. The gun was like in the clothes hamper near him, something like that. But what they did do is when they went into the house, they had made it known over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, I think they said it 30-something times, police, make yourself known, come out. And so the circumstances, as I understand it, behind that, their justification for going in was stupid. Like, they had an exigent circumstance for rendering aid, but they used some sort of care act. I don't know what it's called. Welfare issue, which didn't fit. But they went with that ruling. So I see where Mr. Vilfold's saying, like, it's a bullshit ruling. I agree. That part, we both, all three of us that were talking about it. So that was a dumb ruling. You had the exigency there. Why didn't you just go with that and say that that was the justification? Because that actually fits. If I hear a gunshot and a gun rack, like, and it's coming from a credible source, like, yeah, you got to go in there and make sure that person's okay. However, you also were given plenty of commands that the police are coming in, come out. So community care doctrine, that's what it is. Aereo, thank you. That's what it is. So I think they had the exigent circumstance for rendering aid. But suicidal people become homicidal people really quick. So they did a smart play. It was the SWAT team, I believe, that went in with a shield. And when they finally got to the closet, like, your boy was in there, and like, surprise, and they surprised. So Mr. Billfold said they checked his welfare for sure. They definitely checked it. Mr. Billfold says she was never in the home. She claims to have been on the phone. Okay. So I'm curious, did they find a spent round? Anything like, I know they did find a gun. They would have an exigent circumstance to render aid if he had harmed himself. He was perfectly healthy before he was shot. Yeah. Which makes sense. So, yeah, it's a tough one. That's a tough one because they do have the right to go in there. And if this guy's not making himself known, I mean, people kill themselves in their closets a lot. So going in and clearing a closet makes sense. He's not answering. So you don't know where he's at. So, like I said, people do the self-harm stuff and then turn on the cops all the time. Like, that's not an uncommon thing. So I can see it going again. I'm not trying to be a fence sitter, as we just talked about that, but again, this is why I go case by case basis, and I see the rationale behind it. So, but where I definitely disagree was them ruling that the community care doctrine. It doesn't fit. It does not fit. The exigent circumstance of rendering aid makes sense. So why they ever went with that community care doctrine bullshit, I don't get it. I don't understand. It probably has something to do with the probable cause versus going in, I would think. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to figure out what their rationale would have been on that. because I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't want to get too far in the weeds on that and talk out of my ass. I do that all the time. So, Dead Leg said, could we at least agree that the law enforcement is almost an impossible job? You're asked to take care of the most difficult calls with sometimes very little training due to the lack of funding and support. And on top of that, you're expected to do it perfectly every time. So, not going to go into the blowing blue, but I think I've created a new term, blowing blue. That's my cop splaining. Try not to do that. They said, they say an empty gun holster. Interesting. He was charged with a felony. Oh, did the guy live? That's what I'm curious. Did he live? I don't know what the final. I thought he was killed. They could have stayed the fuck out of his house. It's not their job. They had no facts to state that he was in danger. We have the right to be secure in our homes, regardless if the cops want to help. Yeah, that's a fair argument. But if you're told that somebody's suicidal and that there was a shot fired and then you don't do anything, now people are going to get pissed off because maybe the cops could have went in there and saved him and they did nothing. Double-edged sword, brother. Double-edged sword. He said no, he died. Okay, so he did die. Because the moment the cops do nothing, they're going to get crucified again. Ron England said, replying to two cops, one donut. I don't even know what that means. What are you replying to, sir? I wonder if that's a Facebook thing. Like he replied to a comment on there and it's not knowing how to translate it over here. I highly recommend if you are on any other social media, if you are on our Instagram, if you are on our Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, I would recommend that you switch over to our YouTube. That is the best way to communicate on here. But he is waiting sentence. You guys are confusing me. He's either dead or he's waiting a sentence. Or was he awaiting a sentence and that's what made him suicidal? People get swatted every day. They do. They do. Yep. People do get swatted a lot. It is a problem. Ellie has a duty to protect others, but we do question now, does Ellie have a duty to protect people from themselves? Fair. Fair. That's why I said it's a shitty position to be in. Because if you do nothing, fucked. You do something and it goes wrong, fucked. Mr. Billfold said, bullshit. No one would hold these cops responsible for a person committing suicide. That's what, give me a fucking break. They try to hold cops accountable for shit all the time like that. All the time. Looking for attorney channel. It was today. Or looking for attorney Chanel. It was on today. BRB. Yeah, you could easily get hemmed up for not doing something. You can get fired. I ain't trying to get fired for not doing something. Disastrous videos trending are DUIs for 100% sober people blowing zero, and welfare checks gone bad. Yeah, that's that is true. I've been seeing those. Now, things to consider is, were they driving reckless and giving reasons for a DWI check? But the thing is when you blow the zeros, like, your charge has to change. You can give them a ticket for reckless driving, but you can't hit them with a DWI. I don't think. I don't think so. Let me see here. Mr. Billfold said, show me cases. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying a lawful case. I'm saying getting fired, getting viral, getting all the media attention, all that shit. Like you guys are doing right now for them going in and trying to help. They had an exigency. You know, who are you here and now with all the information to say that that information they got at the time wasn't credible? It is a legal um exception. It's an exigent circumstance. I'm with you. I don't want people busting into my house, but you don't. You got to do with what information you have. If you find that person to be credible, you can only do what you can do. Ryan lands in the house. He said, "Hey, Eric. Hey, chat." They had no exigency. I would say somebody claiming to have fired a gun and being suicidal in the house, thinking that they committed suicide or shot themselves, that's an exigency. That's rendering aid. Um, so they must be. I'm not sure what you're referring to on that. Are we talking about going in a house? No, no, they don't need to be punished, but you can get into the use of force and whether or not that was justified. I don't know. I haven't seen any video on it. I don't know if they have video, but again, you got to go into reasonableness. If you do go into the house and you are saying, police come out, law enforcement here, police, come out, police, make yourself known, and you don't do it, and you don't have something that was preventing you from hearing the police, and you pull a Jack in the Box move in a in a closet, shit can go wrong. Um, See, don't say stupid, dumbass shit like this. Were they trying to help though, or were they claiming to try to help? There's no team of people that want to run into a house just to go shoot somebody. And if you say that, that's no different than me calling you a racist right now. You're racist, Kingslayer. Allegedly. See? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know you. And me just saying that doesn't make any fucking sense. They didn't go in there just to go kill somebody, which is what you're alluding to. Of course they went there to try to help. Mr. Billfold said, no one claimed a gun was fired. That's not what I heard. I heard they said that a gun was fired. Why were they there? Was it a credible tip? If the tip wasn't credible, then everything that happens from that becomes a charge for false report. Police aren't the blame game for everything. So, I mean, there is a partial blame that would definitely have to go on that person that made the claim if it was false. So, Mr. Billfold, don't fucking walk away just because you don't like what we're saying, you fucking baby. Get all worked up. It's just a difference of opinion. It's not going to change anything. The cops claimed that they saw an empty holster. Okay. You used to be a doorman at a bar and a bouncer. If you see the hilt of a what do they call them for a knife, or you see not a hilt of a knife, but a holster for a knife, even if you just catch that as a glimpse as you're opening a door, what's your threat assessment going to be? Is it going to be perfect? So you see, what does a holster for a gun look like? It looks like a gun in the moment. He says, I'm not worked up, just allergic to horse shit. It's not horse shit. You know it's not horse shit. It's just a different rationale than what you have. I'm with you. Like, it sucks. He said, I thought you were leaving, Bubba. He's not leaving. He's not leaving. He loves me too much. My boy ain't going nowhere. Okay, let's do this. Let's switch topics. Let's switch topics. Let me see here. I've got good old police activity pulled up. Shout out to them. Getting their videos. I don't know what you guys all saw on the day that I was off, or I would have had to work, so I apologize for that. But I'm just gonna pull up a video and I'm going to respond to it my way, even if you guys have already seen it. I had to get off on the last live. Well, I was trying to watch, but I had some shit going on at work, so I couldn't. So I didn't get to see any of the videos y'all watched. You guys know how this works. I've never. Okay, let's read this. After refusing to pull over, Baker rode his e-bike into a park towards a wooded area. Officer, well, that is a weird name. Teatafa? Holy shit, it just keeps going. Teatafa Della Rosa exited the patrol car and continued pursuit on foot. Okay, I saw him put his hand up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the person might think that they need to stop, because it doesn't mean they saw you. Have you guys ever been around a treed area in the daytime and tried to look through a windshield? The reflection of the trees kind of veils the person that's inside. Mr. Billfold, later, I stayed because you called me a baby. You are a baby. You're my baby. So yeah, when the sun, just depends on the time of day. It looks like the right time of day that the reflection on your windshield makes it very hard to see inside the car. So it's possible this guy didn't see the cop do that. I'm curious if he has his lights on.
Wait, pull over.
Okay, so we hit the siren. So you should know. E-bikes are a menace lately, by the way.
Hey, pull over. Stop. Stop that.
So my man's about to try to do a rundown on foot on an e-bike. Those things are quick. Like, they do like 20, 30, 40 miles an hour, like most of them. Good luck. I would have drove up over the curb onto the sidewalk into the park. That's just me. Done it before. So I don't know why he didn't do that, but all right, he's going to go after this guy. I guess. I don't know what offense we have. Maybe I don't know if e-bikes they're so new. I don't know if they're required to have a license plate if they're on a public road. I don't know. I don't know the rules on them, to be honest. As long as they're not doing anything dumb, I wouldn't even bother with them. But yeah, let's Ryan Land said that officer's name tag must be a foot wide. I know. Just picture that thing across his chest. Either that or it's a little baby font. All right, let's see where this goes. Bro, you are not going to catch that e-bike. What were you thinking? Does he fall? All right, he hasn't called out anything. I'm hoping maybe his partner did. So I'd be calling out direction of travel, description. He's not doing anything right now. I wouldn't be chasing after this thing on foot. He's already fucked up in my head. This is rookie stuff. Oh man, if he he pulled a horror movie move. He wrecks out right at the worst possible moment. And now old Jason Voorhees is going to catch up to you. Somebody should overlay this with that.
Hey, stop. Oh,
Uh-oh, he just said, "Oh shit." That's typically a gun response. So let's see what happens. I can tell you right now, my guard would have been down with the dude fleeing on an e-bike because it's not typically your gun-toting people if that's what he's got. Maybe he's got a knife. Oh shit!
shots fired. Shots fired. Drop the gun.
Oh, he does got a gun.
Don't move.
It is so hard to shoot when you're tired and adrenaline's pumping. Holy crap. Just goes to show you never know.
He threw the gun to the left.
I'm ready. He's right here. We're taking him outside SIC.
Okay, let's go with him. Moving up, taking him outside.
Look, Sarge don't give a shit.
You shot me already 3 times, sir.
He said, "You shot me already 3 times, sir." Well, holy hell. Let's see what it said in the description. I'd like to know the story behind that. San Diego, California, on December 16th at around 4 p.m., San Diego police, I'm not going to say his name because it's so long and hard to say, and officer number 2 were attempting to make contact with a man on an e-bike, 2900 block of Balboa Drive on Balboa Park. The man, 55-year-old Alan Baker, also known as Tracy Diggs, fled from officers while riding the e-bike and then on foot. The pursuit ended when Baker turned towards Officer De La Rosa and fired a round at him with a handgun. Oh, so he did shoot. Officer, whatever, unharmed, responded by firing back, discharging 5 rounds at Baker, sending him crumpling to the ground. Additional officers arrived on scene, and Baker was taken into custody. Officers at the hospital were treated. Officers rendered medical aid. Oh, okay, I skipped a sentence. Rendered medical aid and arrived to San Diego Fire Rescue personnel. Baker was transported to the hospital where he was treated for serious but non-life-threatening injuries. After firing at the officer, De La Rosa, Baker's handgun landed in it. Oh, Baker's handgun landed in nearby brush. Baker has been criminally charged by district attorney offices for attempted murder on a peace officer, assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and possession of a firearm by a felon. So he was a felon with a firearm. If your boy hadn't wrecked out, he would have been gone. But you weren't catching that dude on foot. There's no way. Your boy was tired, but I'll give him credit. That was pretty amazing that he was able to catch up, cut him off at the pass, so to speak. Andy said, "Why was that not the view when he fired?" I'm trying to figure out what you're asking. Why was what not the view when he fired? I'm not sure what you're saying. Let me see here. Honestly, what is Kingslayer say? Honestly, police have gotten such a benefit of the doubt and have been cleared on some clearly effed stuff. Yeah, true. I find it hard to give the LEOs any benefit of the doubt. Citizens get benefit of the doubt over government for me. I don't disagree. You have to prove your case. For sure. There's no way I can outrun a person on a bike, let alone an e-bike. I can get hurt getting out of the car or getting out of bed if I'm not careful. Oh, he said body-worn camera was to the right. I'm not sure what you're asking, though. Why was that not on view when he fired? What was not on view? Him shooting at the cop? Just the way the body cam was angled. If you're asking if the sound or something like that, sometimes when the sounds are too high, the body cam cuts it, like you don't hear it. So there's limitations with body cams. Sometimes frame rates skip stuff. I'm not raising my handy. I'm itching my armpit. So that could be the thing. Maybe the officer's body cam was sideways while he was shooting. Body cams are centered on their chest. Yeah, because the vest bends. Like when you take a shooter's stance, this is something to consider too. It'll point forward, and then as I bring my arms in to get into a shooter stance, that vest it'll bow in the middle, and whatever's facing forward now angles outward. So that's something to consider. That may have been what happened if that's what you're. The body cam was pointed away from the direction he fired. Let me just go back because I don't know what you're talking about. Share screen. Let's play that beautiful bean footage again.
I'm ready.
Oh. Let's biggie size. There we go. Okay, let me see what you're referring to, sir. So we're going down, body cam's facing forward. Okay, so he sees the gun and he turns. He's turning his back to draw. He's trying to make himself small. That's my guess. So he's gone. I'm going to try to display this on the camera. So he's here. He's faced the guy and he sees our natural instinct is to turn. And so now he's drawing. So he's going to get here and then he's going to, I'm imagining he's probably already firing. I don't know. Let me keep playing. I didn't pay attention to that part. So yeah, now he's turned towards him. He's squared up. So that tells me his body cam sits low on his vest. Some people sits above the arms. I don't like that because then when you do what he's doing, it blocks the view. So this is an officer that obviously cares about what his body cam catches. I had to switch mine because I had mine, like the only logical place that I could put mine was like up here. And then I found out, like, when I'm punched out, got my gun out or my taser out or whatever, camera's not seeing shit. So I had to like rearrange my vest in a way I didn't prefer, but I found it more important to get the camera coverage. Rather have a good witness than my handcuffs be behind my back or off to the side versus right in front of me. Because I really do like having my handcuffs center line up in front of me. That way, either hand can get to the cuffs. So let me see here. So yeah, he's squared up on the shooting part. But yeah, I think the reason it faced away was because he saw the threat and gave that oh shit moment, the pucker factor, and he turns because he doesn't want to get hit. So he's making himself smaller, which is a bad reaction. You actually want your vest faced towards the threat. It's just very hard to do sometimes when you get caught by surprise. I guarantee he's not thinking that e-bike boy is going to pull a gun. I definitely wouldn't have thought that. So, what is that? All right, BJ. You get one warning on politics, BJ. We're not doing the politics thing. If you got something in here to add or you want to, ask questions or whatever, I'll let you do that, sir. But we don't do politics. We don't do religion on here. So I'm giving you a fair warning. Don't call for violence towards anybody. Don't be racist. Maybe the officer's body was sideways while shooting. Those body cams are centered on their chest. Oh, that was Ryan. I already read that part. I wish the reports explained why they attempted to make contact. Yeah, I was curious about that too. That's why I was asking earlier, like, what's the rules for e-bikes? I don't even know. I don't know personally. I don't know. Shit, let's look. Let me ask Gemini. I've been using the shit out of Gemini lately. I really liked it. I was a Chat GPT guy for a while. Now I'm over to Gemini. What is the law on e-bikes? Let's see what it comes up with. In the United States, there are a mix of federal protected product standards. The three the 3 e-bike classes, pedal assist, equipped with a throttle. That's not helping me at all. Safety equipment. All right, let me be more specific. What are the traffic laws for e-bikes? Let's see. I'm sure it's going to differ state to state for sure. Traffic laws for e-bikes are primarily governed at the state level, though most states follow standard 3-tier classification. Class 1, pedal assist, 2, throttle assisted, and 3, pedal assist only. Motor stops at 28 miles an hour. General rules of the road. E-bikes must follow the same rules as motor vehicles. I bet that's probably what happened. The e-bike wasn't just like cyclists that don't like to stop for stop signs and all that shit. Probably, and then I'm speculating out of my ass because we don't know, but I'm going to guess e-bike wasn't following any of the rules or the traffic like it was a car. It was probably just acting like it was doing whatever the fuck it wanted to do. So, Andy said, we've seen quite a few videos where cops think they know, but don't really, and it causes problems from ego. Yes, 100%. And this is where I always go back to when I see those videos, I'm like, it's very easy to just tell them you don't know and you're detaining them while you clarify. Because if I think I got an offense, I've got a right to detain if that's really what you want to do, by the way. More often than not, it's not worth the time for me. But, you know, if you get a kid, like, it would be worth my time if this kid's just running through stop signs. I saw one the other day. He was, what do they call it? Lane splitting. He just jumped on the roadway, and it's a fairly busy road, and he just lane splits, gets up to the red light, goes right through the red light. I'm like, oh my God. I was in my personal car, so but I'm sitting there thinking, if I was in a vehicle, I may try to stop that kid and just try to reason with him, like, holy shit, relax. Maybe type registering e-bikes. Some go by engine displacement as well. Yeah, I don't know. Kids be doing some dumb stuff on them, though. Hours silent said, have you ever caught a body? No, I have not, sir. No, I've been very fortunate. I've had some close calls where I thought I was going to have to. I've had some times where I was going to pull the trigger. I just couldn't because there's too many people. I was not confident in that distance with my shooting ability. But nope, I haven't caught one. Let me see here. Let's go back. And let's see what the next video is. That was 2 minutes. That's 16 minutes. That's a long video. That one. I guess I can try. Let's go to this one. Even though it's a little longer. It's Biggie size. Donald Patterson said, stop. Stop what? Kingslayer said, a while back, you made a short praising some LEOs for calling a supervisor when the LEOs don't have to ID. I'd love to see you react to the full interaction. That's not helping me, brother. I don't even know which one you're talking about. Some laws are not clear. Do laws on the street actually apply to trails or dirt lots in a park? Yeah, you're right. There are some laws that contradict other laws too. That's a problem. That is a problem. At potentially 28 plus miles an hour, e-bikes can be deadly to pedestrians and can cause crazy video wrecks or vehicle wrecks. Yeah, I've had some people seriously injured that were riding the e-bikes themselves. It wasn't even a bike. It was like the little two-wheeled razor e-bike thing. I don't know what to call those, but that one was gnarly. Kid didn't have a helmet on. He was messed up for sure. But all right, let me get this off the screen. Let's watch this video. Get through as much as we need to. Okay, so you got a panhandler. I don't know if it's going to pop up on the screen or not, but you got a panhandler, which is illegal in a lot of places. Typically, those calls will hold for a long time, but if there's nothing else going on, then you'll go out and you'll make contact like, hey, you can't do this up at the corners. You can't have signs and begging for money and all that stuff. Definitely not something that we typically enforce other than telling them like, hey, move along. You can't do that and confiscate their sign. So for me, like I said, I already know what happens in this video, but my guard would not be up on this call. I can promise you. I'm actually going to go into this call with like, come on, you can't be here. Please keep moving along.
Go ahead.
644 is valid for you, sir.
10-4, thank you.
Okay, ma'am, just to let you know. So he is going to issue a citation today, okay? He's going to issue a citation for solicit. Well, I'm going to let him explain that to you, okay?
Police already told I can stay here.
They told you to.
So asking for money, you see the sign says need money, and this person is going to get a ticket issued to them, which, yeah, that can help sometimes prevent people from wanting to do it again, but also it can make things worse. So I would recommend to officers when you go to do this, try to figure out, is this person homeless? Are they not homeless? Because believe it or not, there's people that do this for a profession, y'all. They make $100,000 a year begging on corners. So, but for me, as I'm coming up, I can see one hand. This one's tucked away, so that's always a semi-concern. Let me see when he walks up again, if I can see that hand was empty.
Just to let you know. So he is going to issue a citation today, okay?
No.
He's going to issue a citation for solicit. Well, I'm going to let him explain that to you, okay?
Police already told I can stay here.
They told you today? Okay.
No, it was around Christmas they told me.
Okay. All right. I'll let him explain that to you. He'll be back in just a second.
I don't want to
okay?
talk to him.
Okay. Well, he's going to be the one issuing it to you.
Okay, so both hands were clear, but now she's digging in her pockets. That's going to be a big concern. I'm very much I'm a wrist grabbing fool. The moment you start doing that, I'm pretty quick to just grab your wrist and try to keep it pinned against you and let you know to stop digging in your pocket. And your reaction will tell me a lot of what I need to know. Most people, when you grab a hold of them, their hands start to come up. If they start trying to really push that arm down there, I'm taking you to the ground. So stay ahead of the curve. Again, I'm cheating. I already know what happens in this video. So
I want to make a movie.
Make a movie?
Yeah, because if you're his supervisor.
Not addressing the issue is a problem. They're not talking about it. He's not telling her to keep her hand out of her pocket. Nothing. He's not creating space. They're all bad things. I'm not trying to Monday morning quarterback, but this is bad news.
I'm not trying to make a movie, and I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm just explaining to you what he. Back up. Get
Excellent strategy. I like this. I've told cops before there is nothing wrong with a tactical retreat. Yeah, you're gonna look weird running away from somebody, but time and distance gives you ability to react properly. So he's creating time. He's creating distance to give himself time to load up. So he went for taser, which I wonder if he knows that this person was trying to stab him or not. I don't know. I don't remember. So let's keep going here. He went to taser, so I'm wondering if the partner's probably over here writing the citation. So he may not be paying attention. They're both running. There you go. That's a taser 10. So the taser 10 has 10 shots, and it's single shots, and it can shoot up to 45 feet. Now the beauty of that thing is it lets you keep shooting until you get the reaction you're looking for. Where the old one, you got 1 or 2 goes, and that was it. Fire. If hopefully both hit and work, but if they don't, one may miss. So now you got to fire again and hope one of them creates the spread that you need. With the Taser 10, the success rate has just skyrocketed. I think they're at like 85 or 95% now for successful tasers with the Taser 10. So they really fixed a confidence issue, I think, amongst the officers.
694, start me a supervisor, taser deployed. Put your hands behind your back, do it now. Put your hands behind your back. Cover. Cover.
See, I don't honestly know if any of them know that she has a knife, because he should. She was digging in her pocket, but I didn't hear him call it out. So lack of communication here. I wouldn't recommend digging in and trying to extract her arms. I would be like, no. You put your hands out like an airplane. I'm not reaching in there. Because the moment you go to try to roll her, she could cut you, stab you, stick you something.
Yep. I don't know what she's got in her hand. Do not move. Do you understand me? Do not move.
Cuffing over sleeves sucks, and she's got 2 pairs on.
So much comments on. I can't get. Hold what you got.
Oh,
That's what she had in her hand.
Look like a nail file, to be honest.
696 on the start fire. She's bleeding from the face.
She's on that phone now.
Okay. Hey, roll over. Okay. Stay where you're at. What are you trying to do?
I'm injected. If anybody can hear me, they injected me.
Make sure she's got nothing else on her.
I didn't watch it this far. She said they injected me. Yeah. I think it's safe to say you're dealing with the mental health issue. Is that blood? Kind of looks like blood there. She may have hit her face when she went down.
She pulled it out. I don't know what she was doing.
They injected me.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards it.
Just hold what you got, man. We got medical coming.
Mental health issue.
Why were you
here.
trying to stab me with a nail file?
It was a nail file. There we go.
697, is that what 694?
That's what she had in her hand coming at me. I was like, what in the world?
I am injected with a small particle to take captured.
Okay.
Probably my Islamic.
Boy, darts. Want either hit. Do you have anything sharp?
Yeah, her nose is bleeding. She must have busted her nose when she went down.
Just leave what she got. Let medical do that.
Benefits,
I'll make sure she has no more
and
knives or
they're
anything.
doing this to me.
You got her?
I am perfectly healthy.
Hey, grab the
every day.
rip your shoes off.
All right. That was good. Considering. That was good response. You know, he ran, he created distance. I've told this story on here a few times. I ran from a guy. He had a barbecue, like 2-prong spatula thing. And he pulled that. I'm a runner. Like, I don't mean like I run from everybody. I run. Like, I ran 2 miles last night. I like to run, so I'm always pretty good cardio. Zombieland. Rule number 1, cardio. So my cardio is always pretty spot on, and I rely on it. And this dude pulls out this barbecue tool. I was already probably 30 to 40 feet away from him. I had a good reactionary gap, but I didn't want to have to shoot this guy, and there was nobody else around. So I ran down a roadway. We were on a little side street, and I ran probably the whole block. And I looked back, and my boy was gassed. I guess he tried to chase me. I didn't look behind myself. He tried to chase me. I was just trying to create more distance. So I created this distance, and he was bent over. And then my partner arrived, and I showed, I'm pointing at the guy, and like he rolls up to me. He's like, why are you breathing heavy? I was like, because Bubba down there just chased me with that damn pitchfork that he's got. And when we went down there, he was so tired. We just told him, drop it, get down on the ground, put your hands away. And he did everything because he was gassed. So it can work. I have no problem with cops running from people. It's a tactical retreat. Just know when to do it and make sure when you do it, nobody else is going to be in harm because you do it. Like that guy ran around his partner, but he wasn't saying shit. So then his partner starts running. Like, you got to communicate. Don't run trouble into your partner. Don't run trouble into some innocent bystander. It was kind of funny watching him run when his partner's like, why are we running? He didn't even know. Hey, Eric, if you speak to Jeff Gray from Honor Your Oath, don't give him your opinion on panhandling. He'll argue to the death that that's a 1A protected. I don't necessarily disagree with him on that. I'm just saying in general it's illegal. I'm not saying I agree that it should be illegal. A lot of times it's more than just having a sign. It's going out in the roadway. It's holding up traffic. It's causing issues. That's the legal problem. I actually agree with Jeff Gray. I do think that that's a First Amendment right. So let me clarify. I do agree with him. I think he's right. Who are you to tell me when I'm standing on a public street what I can say and do? And then who are you to tell other people that they don't have a right to give them money? It's their money. If they want to give it to them, so be it. That's a good topic, Free. Let's talk about that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I agree. I think it's a First Amendment protected right. It just doing it in general. But what I don't agree with is when you're blocking traffic. Because then that becomes a problem. Because there's some intersections. You guys have seen them in bigger cities. There's some intersections that you can cause some major problems. The ones coming right off the freeway, and they're 5-6 lanes deep. Whew. No one snuck up on me. Almost sneezed on my mic. So, but yeah, I tend to agree with that. Stepping out into traffic is a different charge. Yeah, I agree. It's called obstruction of roadway, where I'm at. So Dan Edgar in the house. What's up, Dan? For those that don't know, Dan was he was one of my military training leaders. I think that's what they called him, or cadre, when I was going through my security forces training in the Air Force. He was my mentor, leading me down the path for my military career. Good dude. We had a lot of good fun too. He ended up moving to Michigan for a while. But yeah. Twitchy said it's a First Amendment right, but it needs to be done in an area that doesn't put other people at risk of harm. Yeah. Well, it just depends on how it's done. Two-pronged barbecue tool, Rose Eyes. You mean a fork? Shut up, Andy. I don't know what to call him. A fork is a little guy. This is a big barbecue tool. I mean, it was like 2 foot long. It was big. It was scary looking. I remember laughing. Oh shit, Bubba's coming after, because he's a fat guy. He was a fat guy. No shirt. It was he had he was balding, but he had a mullet, if that makes sense, and he had jean shorts on. Yeah, Dan's now in Kentucky. So, Dan, we just jumped on. We're talking about whether it should be illegal for panhandling. I tend to agree with it's a First Amendment right because you have the right to say and ask whatever you want as long as it's not causing harm to anybody or not causing alarm. You can't stand on the side of the road and said, "Give me money, or I'll blow up this bomb." You can't do that. But you can say, "Need money." God bless the homeless. God bless this veterans. Veteran homeless need money. All that stuff. Why can't you say that? But again, if you're blocking traffic and holding up traffic and being a true obstruction, a lot of times people try to use the obstruction charge and they ain't holding up any traffic. They run, they grab the money real quick while it's still a red light, and they get back off the road. Yeah. That's a rough one. But let me see here. That's coercion. Still a fork. Okay, it's a fork. Is what it is. I don't mind the panhandling. Dan said, I don't mind the panhandling, but they do tend to be obnoxious at times. I've lived in a lot of places, and Texas may be the worst. It could be, for sure. Oh, Twitchy said, it's extortion. Harassing, coercing, blocking traffic. Those are all unlawful things on their own. Yeah, agreed. But in this instance, she was just standing on the corner on a public sidewalk holding the sign. So was she obstructing anything? Was she harassing? I would say no. What about the guys that sell roses on the street? Yeah, see, they're providing a service. I don't think that should be illegal either. That's different than an anti-panhandle law. Yeah, because a lot of times it's a city ordinance. I think where I'm at, it's a city ordinance. So, but a lot of times, I think when officers do it right, the panhandling is the reason for making contact because it's a city ordinance, but it's the actual, you sit back, you watch, you observe. Are they actually blocking the roadway? There's some aggressive panhandlers. We had this one, his street name was Coco, and he was from, I want to say Ethiopia, and my boy would walk in the roadway, bang on your window. Run over to the passenger side, sit on your hood, wouldn't let you leave. He was very aggressive in his style for trying to get money from people. He got arrested a lot. That's why I remember his name. And then one day, one of my fellow officers, we were on bike patrol, and he saw him out there banging on a window. So he rolls up, and you see the drivers like doing one of these, like, get this guy off my car. So his name's Dana. Dana was like trying to get Coco, get on the sidewalk, and it was on. Coco just lunged at him, trying to get up there to help. A firefighter, an off-duty firefighter, was eating lunch on a sidewalk restaurant right there, and come out and help put him on the ground and get him cuffed up. But aggressive. The dude was aggressive. And we arrest him, take him to jail. He was out before we even had the paperwork done, I swear. We saw him out of the street the same night. So, Freeman said, everything else you mentioned involves obstruction and interference, but asking can't be criminalized. I agree with you. I don't think it should be. Yeah, so it was a good time. Jeff has been arrested for standing on a sidewalk, not even asking for money several times, and the blanket statement is that panhandling is illegal, is where I think you are mistaken. Yeah, I think if it's the same guy I'm thinking of, his signs always say bless our veterans or something like that. It's not even asking for anything. So I think all of those arrests are unlawful. Curious to see what happens when he goes into court on those. Aggressive, coercive, violent panhandling is different than panhandling. Yeah, I agree. Again, I am I not conveying myself enough? I agree with you guys that just panhandling alone should be your First Amendment right. I agree with you on that. And making an arrest based on that is wrong. I am with you. I feel like something's getting crossed. I agree with you. I'm saying if you're doing it right and you're getting calls about a person panhandling, as a cop, you need to sit back, watch, and see, are they actually doing anything else that would warrant me making contact and arresting? Maybe. Jesus. I got this new C4 drink. It's mango. It's like a mango habanero. I don't know if you guys have had it. It's really good. I love it. However, the fumes from it, if you inhale the fumes the wrong way, it'll get you. It'll get you. Dan said, this is where the state mental facilities need to open up again. I do think they had their place. I do think the state mental facilities, if they were ran properly, I think the problem we had was there were no standards back when we did have them. People were being abused. But if we did have standards where they could go and get regular medication, because a lot of times that's really what it boils down to. The mental health aspect of it is just regular medication. These people are normal, fine people when they're on their meds, and then when they're not, they, like this lady, they go off the rocker, do stuff that's uncharacteristic for them when they're regulated. Eric, we understand, but you said panhandling can be illegal. That's right. Okay, so that's what I was referring to. I don't mean and panhandling can be illegal if it's a city ordinance it's illegal in that city. But again, it's like profanity. Like it can be illegal to curse in certain places if somebody says they're offended, and you can get a ticket for that. But if you fight that ticket and it goes up, I imagine if somehow that ticket goes up to the appellate courts or whatever it is, they're going to find that that's a freedom of speech, and it's going to get dismissed. So that's what I'm saying. Like I would never choose to enforce that, just basic panhandling, because like you guys said, it's a freedom of First Amendment right. It's not exactly speech, but it is kind of speech. So, and I'm with you. Cities can't override the Constitution. Agreed. City ordinances, no, that's what I'm trying. I'm not, again, it's not my position. I'm just telling you what they're going off of. So that's what I'm going. Holy shit, Ariel, what the fuck are you talking about? No, it can't, fucker. Better put some respect on my name. Relax. It's a conversation. We see how bad and corrupt it's been with the billions that went to homelessness. A lot of people get rich off that scam. I'm in California. It's a joke here. Yeah. I've seen the stories of guys that make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yep, for sure. I've had conversations with a lot of homeless people that they choose to be homeless. They're not out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they like the lifestyle. They choose to keep doing it. Find it simpler. Mr. Billfold said, I'm back. The Supreme Court rules solicitation of funds is free speech. See? I agree. That's why I said, like, just because you have a city ordinance doesn't mean it's going to be upheld. I don't think it'll fly. So it is a weird thing. If the Supreme Court's already made that ruling, how can cities still do that city ordinance stuff? I don't know enough about that. I don't know. You guys like that cup? 10 points if you know what logo that is. 10 points to Gryffindor if you know what logo that is. Unless Mr. Billfold answers, then it's Slytherin. You can be racist as F and still free speech. The First Amendment protects a variety of offensive speech. Free said, by the way, Eric, I'm on your side. You're my favorite cop. Just like the discussion. Well, hey, don't tell that to Izzo. I know you follow Izzo too. I guess you're going off a technicality. I'm the only active cop, I think, that does this. I don't know. Maybe there's some more guys doing it now. I feel like we've inspired some other cops to come out and do their stuff. There's one on TikTok. Let me find that dude. Holy cow. I got like 5 spam calls. Go away. There's a guy on TikTok. He does internet crimes against children. I've been wanting to get him on and see what he's got going on. He does some cool educational stuff. Let me see. I'm guessing that I'm looking at. Sorry, I missed. What about the guys that clean your windshield at a stoplight, then cuss you out for not tipping? Yeah, those guys are a problem. But Ryan said, I'm guessing that a lot of local politicians don't keep up on the latest rulings from the Supreme Court. Yeah, I don't know. City ordinances are a weird deal. City ordinance, Mr. Billfold said, city ordinances must be content neutral. Locales can restrict time, place, and manner like traffic medians. Yeah, Auto Watchdog. Yeah, he does do some crazy stuff. Free said, love Izzo. You just seem realer than a lot. Love it. Thanks. I don't know how I seem realer. Is it maybe it's the hat. You guys just like Detroit. That's cool. Represent. It's cool. All right, let me pull up another video. Let me go back. See what else we can see today. How long we been on? We're almost at an hour and a half. I'm going to cut it at an hour and a half. So let's pull up one more video. I don't know if I've seen that one or that one. This one is a few minutes. All right, let me pull this guy up. I'm going to pause. Share screen. Booyah. Again, all this is police activity. Biggie size. There we go. And play.
So it's not driving on the high rate of speed?
No.
1047.
There's going to be a bailout.
Bailout. Okay. Okay, so I think that the noises we first heard, I thought I heard gunshots. It might have been the tires deflating. His back tire's flat. I don't know why we're making contact, obviously, but I'm going to get the fuck away from this car. I couldn't tell if we heard gunshots or not.
Get up!
Oh, you're moving the wrong way, bud.
Show me your hands! Give me your hands! Give me your hands! Give me your hands! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! I'm shot, yo. I'm shot. It made me drive. It made me drive.
Turn over.
It made me drive.
Turn over.
I'm shot. I'm shot, man.
Oh, he's trying to jump the thing.
Show me your hands.
Hands!
Show me your hands.
Hands! 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 Show me your
All right. We got a bad crossfire situation here. Holy crap. I didn't notice that at the first body cam. This is the hard part. Your job's to go catch the bad guy. Got him in kind of a stuck position, but now we unass our vehicle because you heard the guy go, he's going to bail, he's going to bail. That's a logical thought. Thought he was going to go. Thought he was going to jump and run. So they unasked to prevent that from happening, and then they catch themselves in no man's land. So this is the hard one. This is where I don't know. This is the type of ones that I reserve a lot of judgment on because I'm not there. I don't like trying to challenge a vehicle while I'm on foot because I can't stop it. At the same time, I don't feel like these guys put themselves in a position at the beginning that compromised them. They got caught in a compromised position as the situation developed. The first body cam video, that's the only one so far. I feel like these two officers put themselves in a really good spot for what was going on if that guy were to bail. So I don't know. Let's keep going.
Gunny, watch out! Hands!
Oh my
hands!
God, crossfire.
Gunny, get up! Get up! Show me your hands!
So there's nowhere for him to really. He could have got up on that sidewalk. It kind of looks like. Oh no, there's a pillar in the way. He probably wouldn't have made it through there. So there ain't a lot of options for him to go anywhere. He's pretty much boxed in there. He was trying to wiggle his way through wherever he could get.
Stop! Stop the car! Shots.
Well, I'm glad they didn't continue to shoot. Let me see if we can see the other body cam video. Okay, let's watch this guy. He's got his cell phone in his hand. What's that about?
Hands. Show me your hands. Hold the air. He's crashing. Show us your hands. Show me
Yeah, this guy's in a great
Show us your
spot.
hands. Gotta get up. Get out of the way. Show me your hands. Show me your hands.
Okay, I understand why he fired. This guy was in the way down there. So, yeah. Sorry, I just happened to catch Mr. Billfold's comment there. If it weren't for racist shit, my peach of a dad would never speak, but he should be free to expose himself as a piece of shit. Jesus. I'm going to go back because I think that this guy had the best perspective of what really happened here. Nobody's fired yet. Nobody's fired here yet. And this guy's in a really bad spot as he's backing up.
Gotta get up. Get out of the way.
He's yelling for him to get up on top of that thing. He would have been in a safe spot on top of there. And this is where it kind of gets wonky because this guy's caught in crossfire in no man's land. Look at the crossfire here. Holy shit. Doesn't sound like anybody's shot yet.
Show me your hands.
All right. This is where that was a bad move. But things to consider. He's got to get out of the crossfire. I don't know if that's a fence, if that would have trapped him. It kind of looks like a fence. So maybe he ran this way because it was the only other place he could go to get out of that crossfire. And in the middle of the shit, when your adrenaline's pumping, you don't always make the best decision. So I think he just chose, and looks like he chose poorly.
Show me your hands.
Now, this is what these officers see. He's got a clear line of fire here, and this car is going right towards that guy. Oh, God. I can't believe that officer didn't get shot. That is insane. Insane.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Get on the ground!
Okay, looking for a
Get on
foot
the
bail.
ground!
Oh, shit. Somebody
Get on
fell out of the car.
Get on the ground! Give me your hands!
Shots fired.
Give me your hands!
Shots continued.
Give me your hands! Get your fucking hands up! Show me your fucking hands! Give me your fucking hand!
Officers are okay.
Is he hit? He's not hit?
Charlie 9 number out there.
Where you shot at?
Okay, what's your correct one? 1300 Division.
It's on my left arm. Put me on my back, please. I'm trying, bro. On your side. You made me drive. Where you shot at? Where you shot at?
1023 1400 Division.
Stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know how many times I've been shot. He shot me. He made me drive, man. What I'm supposed to do? You supposed to stop. I couldn't. You got to. You tried to run him over, bro. You saw what was going on. Stop it. Just don't move. Where you hit at? Oh my God! I wasn't trying to run him over. He made me drive. Oh, please, me take the cuss off.
All right. Let's see what it said about that case. And we'll make this the last one. Baltimore, Maryland, December 16th, 2025, 7:57 p.m. Detectives were monitoring CCTV when they observed suspects' narcotics activity in the area of North Charles Street and 21st Street. Members of the District Action Team, DAT, were directed to the area for further investigation, attempted to initiate a traffic stop on a vehicle believed to be involved in the activity. The vehicle fled from the officers and a pursuit ensued. A request was made for Foxtrot, BPD's helicopter unit. However, it was not in service at the time. The vehicle entered the 500 block of West Lonvale Street and drove into a dead-end alley. 3 officers exited their vehicles, approached on foot, issued verbal commands for occupants to show their hands. The vehicle suddenly reversed. Oh, shit, I lost my spot. Towards one of the officers, crashed into a fence, and it accelerated again towards the officer, at which point all 3 officers discharged their firearms. The passenger, 61-year-old Andrew Brown, fell out of the vehicle. So that was that dude that fell out. He's old. The driver, 37-year-old Devin Thomas, exited the vehicle and laid on the ground. Officers placed both males in handcuffs and rendered aid. Thomas, who was struck with a gunfire until medics arrived. He was transported to the hospital and since been released. He was later arrested and charged with assault and dangerous weapon and with intent to injure. Subsequent search of the vehicle yielded recovery of 2 firearms and narcotics. Well, that's that. Yeah, that was intense. That was intense. On that one, I really don't have an issue with that shooting, given the gravity of and the totality of everything that was going on. I didn't see a place for him to go. I understood why they got out of the vehicle. We train at where I'm at not to get in front of vehicles or put yourself in a position to have to do that. But in this particular case, I would have assumed a foot bail as well. So I would have been getting ready for it because, like they said, there was nowhere to go. So then when he reversed the vehicle, now you're like, oh shit, this dude's like, he's going hard. And it's too late. You made a decision and now you got to kind of live with it. It's just the way it goes. So on that particular one, that's just police work. That just shit happens. And damn the crossfire. Wow. I don't know. Just curious what y'all are thinking on that one. But yeah, that was pretty fun. Nice little impromptu today. Let me close this stuff out here. So So I am going to be gone for the weekend. Heading to Arizona for our training facility opening at the National Real-Time Crime Center Association, and got a bunch of good training going on out there and whatnot. Do some podcasting for them. So I will not be available Monday night. So Banning and Alan and the rest of the crew is going to have to run the show again. That's why I tried to do this one. I think I'm going to try to do another one Friday night. I can't even remember who it was that reached out that may want to do it Friday. But I had it might have been Rogue Nation Audits. I'm going to try to get him on Friday night. I don't know if I can yet, so relax. But that's what I'm going to try to do is get Rogue Nation Audits on for Friday night, since I got to fly out Saturday. Freeman said, love hanging out with y'all. Thank you, Eric. Travel safely. We'll see you soon. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I might try to do that. I'm not the guy that does this, so I always try to wait till the end, unless my mods throw it up there and I catch it. But if you guys want to support what we're doing, we have the Buy Me a Coffee. We have our YouTube membership, super stickers, all that stuff. All that money goes right back into the show so we can do this stuff. So thank you for doing that if you can. If not, like, follow, subscribe. That's always a great way to support us for free. Share us. That's a big one. We have a great community going on. Check out our Discord channel where you can have more in-depth conversations personally with us, anybody from the DTV crew. We also have a lot of places for personalities that we get on to have their own channel, so you can ask questions to them specifically. And just makes for a more involved community. So we have our Discord channel. We have our Buy Me a Coffee. If you want to support us monetarily, that's always nice. And shout out to our sponsors, Peregrine.io. If you want to turn your worst detectives into Sherlock Holmes, check out Peregrine. Ghost Patch. If you guys want any custom patches or anything like that, you can go to ghostpatch.com or ghostpatchcustoms.com if you want to make your own, kind of like what we have. I don't have my patch up here on my thing. Shout out to Retro Rifle. I'm not wearing a Retro Rifle shirt today, but pretty cool shirts that they got out there. And I'm not drinking, but shout out to Smoke Wagon just because, and they're not a sponsor. So it's just on my desk. So I thought I'd give them a shout out. Other than that, yeah, that's what's going on. I will be out in Arizona. There's some big ice storms coming to Texas, so we'll see if I'm even allowed to fly. May be bad. We'll see. But other than that, everybody, have a good day. It's kind of rare to say, right? Have a good day, guys. Take it easy.